Welcome to the Fairfield Cultural Alliance Annual Arts and Culture Celebration. Tonight we gather together to speak and connect as a creative community and to let each other know what is going on and to show appreciation to various arts and culture efforts. Fairfield Cultural Alliance is growing. In 2025, we initiated some new event series, collaborations, and partnerships in hopes to further develop, mentor, and support community arts and culture in Fairfield and Jefferson County into 2026 and beyond. We launched the monthly Arts Meet, spearheaded by Tim Britton, held on the last Tuesday of every month at various locations throughout Fairfield. This is an opportunity for artists and art lovers to connect socially. Please check out Fairfield 365 each month to find out more. Another informal gathering initiated by Lindsay Bauer is the Arts and Culture Coffee Hour, which is held on the first Monday of every month at the FACC conference room. Here we review issues and topics to support each other as artists and arts organizations, such as grant writing, marketing, developing, mission statements, etc. This past year, FCA initiated and launched a new website, www.fairfieldculturalalliance.org. For this, I'd like to thank William Davis, our board secretary, I don't think he's here tonight, who helped guide us through the process of best practices. I would also really like to take this moment to make a note and ask for anyone with experience in WordPress, if they're interested in volunteering their time as an admin, we would really appreciate random updates to design on the website throughout the year. Tonight, we shall announce the recipients of the yearly mini grants from our Cultural Trust Fund. I'd like to thank our applicants for bearing with us. We did a few updates to the application this year as we try to go digital with FCA. So there were some growing pains, but I'm hoping it'll get better in the future. We are also happy to announce that we crowdsourced nominees for the Cultural Achievement Award. So we asked our community to nominate those they felt contribute to our community in different ways, and the response was overwhelming. So a lot of people in Fairfield are doing some awesome things. Since our last celebration in 2024, we have developed a partnership with Fairfield's Beautification Committee, headed by Deborah Williamson. Deborah is working on amazing projects. Where is she? Let's give a round for Deborah. Deborah is definitely a force, and she is working on some wonderful projects. A few to name are the Heritage Alley with the Arch and the Mosaics, the Heritage Walking Tour, the Gateway Building Project, and the 2nd Street Underpass mural. So if you have questions about any of those, see Deborah. We'd like to introduce our board members. Myself, Jasmine Bodie, President. Bert Chanowski, Vice President. William Davis, Secretary. Denise Rush, Treasurer. Lindsay Bauer. Tim Britton. Kay Jacob. Shanaz Kreider. Victoria Rose. David Thibodeau, Deborah Williamson as ex officio, Francesca Johnson, and Colin Faulknerell. We are open for others to consider joining our volunteer board. We welcome your energy and your enthusiasm to continue Fairfield Cultural Alliance and take it into the future. So please see one of us here at the end. Likely not myself, because I'll have to leave early. But we really do appreciate you all coming, and it has been an honor to work with everyone so far on my efforts for Fairfield Cultural Alliance, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in the coming years and the partnerships that we grow. So I'll hand it over to Lindsay.
There have been a lot of changes at FCA. I have to stand on my tiptoes if I'm going to step into Jasmine's microphone. This would normally be the part of the evening where Mayor Connie Boyer would say some words on behalf of the city, on behalf of the arts and cultural plans as a governance perspective. And she's not able to make it tonight, so I'm going to make up some words and you can all quote me as her. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to co-opt this moment and speak to you as the current president of the Iowa Cultural Coalition, which is the statewide arts advocacy board. We advocate for increased arts and culture funding at a public governmental level, and that is overarching statewide down to county boards of supervisors and city councils. And the most powerful people in any community are the people who talk, and the people who create, and the people who are bold and stand for ideas and their neighbors. And that describes the people in this room. If you do not know your ward representative, if you do not know your council representative, if you don't have a relationship with the people who represent you, then we get the community that we have built. You invite these people out for coffee. You sit down with them, you speak to them human to human, and you tell them what the arts mean to a community. And what the arts do mean to a community is better healthcare, better civic engagement, better roads, better playgrounds, better schools, better teachers. All of those things come together when you have a thriving arts presence in a town. As you drive across the state of Iowa, you can instantly recognize the communities that do not have a thriving arts presence because they don't thrive. The communities, the schools have closed. Their main street is in shambles. You instantly recognize the communities that have arts and culture as a core tenet of what they do as a community. Tell those stories to the people who can make decisions. Make them make the decisions that you need them to make. So, on behalf of Mayor Connie Boyer, let's spend some money on art, folks. Please don't quote me as Connie Boyer. We have news media here. I would now like to get out of the way and allow Tim Britton to introduce the best part of the evening.
There are innumerable performing artists in town here, and they're all, as you might imagine, incredibly unique and wonderful, and not always that visible because, small town, not as much as there are a lot of venues in town, people are busy with their lives in various capacities, and they're not always out in front of people performing. Like myself, I perform maybe twice a year here. But one of the people who I wish I could see more often is one of the more talented performers in town. Every time I hear him, I'm like, why am I not seeing this guy more often? And he recently opened a music store and a venue in that store in the back alley on the far side of the square. So that bodes well for at least having another venue for other people. I don't know whether he's playing there very much. He's probably hiding out as usual. But anyway, a lot of us are busy making other people look good and sound good, and Laura is one of them. Let's give a warm welcome to Laura Oliver.
Oh boy, I don't know how I'm going to live up to that introduction, but I appreciate the invite, and it's good to see so many familiar faces. Oh, look at who the wind's blowing up the road, shining like a northern star, looking like the answer to all my prayers. Darling, I know what you really are. So don't you knock on my door, I won't be home anymore. You can find me out walking in the sun. Though you hide it so well, it isn't easy to tell. But I know a heartache when I see one. I know a heartache when I see one. There was a time I was a true believer. Your love was the only way. But you can save all your sweet talking for some other fool, only a fool would believe what you say. So don't you knock on my door, I won't be home anymore. You can find me out walking in the sun. Though you hide it so well, it isn't easy to tell. I know a heartache when I see one. I know a heartache when I see one. Time is a teacher and it's taught me well. The loser is the one who cries. You'll be crying like a baby when it hurts like hell. You know the devil by the look in his eyes. Don't you knock on my door, I won't be home anymore. You can find me out walking in the sun. Though you hide it so well, it isn't easy to tell. But I know a heartache when I see one. I know a heartache when I see one. I know a heartache when I see one. You've been sneaking around my dreams, going undercover when I'm asleep. Still you say you ain't seen me, and it's all in my head. Well, that may be, but I can't wait to sleep, 'cause it's the only time I feel right, like I'm whole again, like it's you and me. Restless nights were spent so sweetly. It's bittersweet love, even if it's only me, love. If I'm the only one in love, the time we spent together, even if it's not how you feel, even if you hate my guts, you've had enough. It's bittersweet love. Guess it's just as well you left me alone in this empty bed when you told me to go to hell. I'll be damned if I didn't do what you said. But somehow you're still here, like a mess from a cancer. My heart is wrapped in now. I'm the fool for not getting the help that I need to get over you. It's bittersweet love, even if it's only me, love. time we spent together was real. Even if it's not how you feel, even if you hate my guts, you've had enough. It's bittersweet love. It's bittersweet love. Even if it's only me, love. If I'm the only one in love, the time we spent together was real. Even if it's not how you feel, even if you hate my guts, you've had enough. It's bittersweet love. Even if it's only me, love. If I'm the only one in love, the time we spent together was real. Even if it's not how you feel, even if you hate my guts, you've had enough. It's bitter, sweet love.
We just wanted to mention that the Fairfield First Foundation has awarded a grant, which has already been presented. And it was to Werner Elmker over there. Werner deserves recognition for his tireless work documenting Fairfield's art and culture for over a decade, probably more. If anything was happening in this town, you could just about find him there taking pictures, capturing our life in beautiful artistic images. He's always been generous in allowing these images to grace all manner of publicity for our town in both print and digital media. We've come to count on him to be one of our town's documentarians. Besides sharing his photographic talents, he also shares with us his artistic talents as a pianist and composer several times a year in concerts and sound baths. We hope he continues his work for many, many, many years to come. Thank you, Werner. Now we get to an important part of our program tonight, the distribution of the Cultural Trust Fund Mini Grant Awards. And Lindsay will take it away.
Before we give out the money, we're going to hold it hostage just for a second because there are so many projects going on simultaneously in Fairfield all the time that a simple listing from us is never going to cover the full picture. And so I would really like to open it up to all of you. What are y'all working on that's exciting that you'd like to tell us all about right now?
We're launching an MFA in documentary filmmaking starting this spring at MIU.
That's amazing.
Slow residency program. It's going to be awesome. Stuart, Tanner, and I.
Meredith.
Let's see. Thirsty Word is my third Thursday reading event for. Got got myself in a pickle here. At Cafe Paradiso, writers of every ilk from all around the area come and share their creative literature out loud, poetry, screenplay, shorts, essays, all kinds of wonderful things. The next one is on the 20th. But I'm super also excited because my passion project right now is mounting a play, an original play I wrote 12 years ago about a couple 30-somethings attempting to teach a theater workshop in a senior home. And you might see it in June. We have yet to decide if Fairfield Area Community Theater wants to produce it or if I'm going to produce it myself, but it's in the works. TBA. What's it called? It's called The Actors, but that's the working title.
We've launched Fairfield Youth Performing Arts and performed our first musical, Mary Poppins. Many of you may have seen it. It was very successful and a lot of fun. The kids had a great time. We're getting ready to stage the somewhat true tale of Robin Hood, which is a comedy. It's a straight play. That's our follow-up to Mary Poppins. And if you come and see that, you can get a sneak peek at our 2026 season, where we will announce our 2026 musical and play for next year. So I hope we all see you there.
And what are the dates for that?
The dates are December 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th at the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center.
Hi. The Chamber Singers of Southeast Iowa will be doing their annual holiday concerts this December 13th and 14th at the Golden Magnolia Sanctuary. Thank you.
Thanks. This is a rebirth of sorts. On Sunday afternoon or Monday morning from 11 to 3 o'clock, we're going to have the World Fairfield International Festival again. We have 32 different countries that are going to be represented there. We have international music, including Baraka. It's going to be our featured performer at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The international food as well. And it's a rebirth not only of the festival, it hasn't happened since prior to COVID in 2019, but also the Fairfield, the MIU Fieldhouse has been revitalized and is available for community use now. So hope to see everybody there 11 o'clock on Sunday morning for the World Fairfield International Festival. Thanks.
I'm Michael Sternfeld, and just recently many of you have been aware that Eric Schaefer and Apala have left the country indefinitely and did not want to put the lab, which is known as the lab, on mothballs, so he asked me to take it over. And it's the fourth dance studio I've run in my life, and I really wasn't ready for it, thanks to Will Buchanan, who's joining me on it. So now we revitalized, changed the name to the Creativity Lab. If you haven't been over there, it's one of the most gorgeous spaces in town. It's incredible. And now, you know, it used to be his offices. Now it's open during the day. We're expanding the programming. So Will and I have inherited this incredible space that's going to be more available to the community. If you haven't had a chance to come over there, there's been activities already, but now they're expanding. So it's now the Creativity Lab over on 408 West Low. Come.
What are some of the activities?
The tango community uses it on Monday night. Tuesday is capoeira and Latin dance with Mercedes. Wednesday is my somatic class and the ecstatic dance. Thursday is band night, rotating bands each week. Let's see, we got yoga. Sunday is ecstatic dance. So right now it's being used quite a bit, and now all of a sudden, we're not advertising, we're not telling anyone, but people are calling us. It's very reasonable rates, but it's really, Eric made it like his living room. It really has that quality. We're not trying to book a bunch of stuff, but we're going for fine arts and deep healing. That's the theme that's going to be going on there.
All right. So you're seeing around you the mini art auction. And we do this once every 2 years. And every piece of art in the gallery starts at a minimum bid of $15. And Icon is totally community supported. It's a nonprofit gallery. You won't see a gallery like this in any town, a small town in Iowa, because it's financially impossible to do it. But we have so many people that love the arts in Fairfield that they all donate money or they give to one of our fundraisers, and this is one of our fundraisers. Every 1 year we'll do a mini art auction, which is everything in the art in the whole gallery is a minimum bid of $15. And then in our regular art auction that we do every other year, we'll have artworks that are like $50, $100, $500 minimum bid. But the one that is becoming most popular is the mini art auction, which we're doing right now. So come on and go to our website, which is as you enter the building, and click on anything, and you'll get to the auction site, and you can start bidding on any of this art. And every bit of it keeps the doors open here because we're totally community supported.
I feel like I should mention something else. I'm a little shy. Public speaking is not my thing. But I did want to mention that in our website revamp, we really wanted to highlight that the Cultural Alliance is here to mentor and support artists and organizations. So if you go to the header and find resources, we are trying to source links and opportunities for artists to receive grants and other opportunities. So it is our goal to update that regularly so you have a one-stop shop to find out how to facilitate your projects or your programs throughout the year. So it's a work in progress. It might be clunky in the beginning, like I said, give me your volunteer hours. But until then, I do think it is a nice resource, and I'm excited to see how it grows.
I'm putting on my Fairfield Area Community Theater hat now. We're opening Catfish Moon in just a few days at the Walton Club. It's a dessert theater experience, and it's kind of a comedy, dramedy play about three fishing buddies who get some unexpected news. It's going to be awesome because the cast is kind of kick-ass. It's Celeste Seamson, my sister-in-law, Andy McKenzie, Fred Huckey, and David Patterson, and I can't wait to see it, and I hope to see you there. It's going to be this weekend and next weekend at the Walton Club. Thank you.
One of my least favorite stereotypes about artists, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, that artists don't do spreadsheets. Nothing makes my blood boil. Actually, a lot of things make my blood boil. But that one's one of the things that'll do it the fastest because artists are business people too. And artists are smart, intelligent planners. And creating costs money. And so one of the things that's really important is not only, sure, public funding for the arts and private funding for the arts and all of this, but the thing that's special about the Fairfield Cultural Alliance is that it's only Fairfield. We are looking for Fairfield artists, we are Fairfield funded, and we're looking to support the work of artists here in Fairfield because it costs money. And the thing about money is it doesn't reproduce itself. So the original cultural trust that we use to draw on to provide mini grants to support creative work here in Fairfield was granted to us by the city of Fairfield 20 years ago. And 20 years is a long time to stretch a dollar, man. So tonight, as you listen to the folks who are being supported with grants tonight, imagine what this could be if we all collectively grew that fund, a few dollars here and there, $10 a month, and we were able to sustain this so that mini grants become maxi grants, and mini art becomes maxi art. And mini communities become maxi communities. I'm sorry, it took everything that I had not to say maxi pad. So I decided to just go for it. As you see these little thingies throughout the room, there's a QR code there. It'll lead you directly to our donation page. Please help us support art here in Fairfield. If we all come together, there are very few things that we cannot do. And now, and now, the moment you've all been waiting for, where we hand out the dollars. Recipients, as I introduce you, if you could just come up and say a brief word or two about your project, and then Denise will hand you the money after you speak into the microphone. I'd like to recognize Tim Britton of Fairfield Muse.
Eating sushi. Thank you so much. I'm here as a representative of Fairfield Muse, which is responsible for the music that happens over across the street at Paradiso. And we've been putting on concerts most every week, sometimes more than once a week, for about 24 years. And also an open mic most of those years, which has been really one of my favorite things. I'm used to, I grew up in a professional music family, but it's such a relief and a breath of fresh air to be in a non-professional situation where people can come up and share what is, what their passion is, regardless of professionality, whatever that might mean. And of course, it also draws professionals. We've had people come as far as Chicago or St. Louis to play our open mic. Joni Mitchell's first husband used to drive up an hour from Keokuk every week to play 2 songs at our open mic, Chuck. Anyway, so Chuck Mitchell, yeah, great old friend and fabulous. As soon as he walks on stage, before he opens his mouth, he's already commanding the hearts in every seat in the audience. He's a remarkable person. But anyway, that's what I get to have the joy of hosting over there. And we've had some really, full houses, and we have some mostly empty houses sometimes for equally wonderful people. So get off your couches and from behind your computers and Netflix and whatever else, and show up to those things and tell your friends and be there, or be square, as they say.
Marla Brader with the First Fridays Art Walk.
Anybody that knows me knows I really dislike public speaking. But I just want to say 24 years, and the community and the support from organizations like this, the city, all of the artists and all, it's amazing. Thank you. No, I'm not saying that.
Meredith Simpson with the Thirsty Word.
Thank you. I already mentioned the Thirsty Word series that I do, which is really my joy. It always surprises me. I always say it's like Christmas, because I often book the readers like several months in advance, and so when they show up in the space and read their beautiful pieces, I've forgotten them already, and it's like, oh, thank you. Amazing. And we have such a cool audience that shows up every month to go experience it. So thank you if you're a regular. We've got a fun program on the 20th, and then our really fun program is often the December one that has a little bit of a winter and holiday theme. You just never know what's going to show up in the room. Anyway, thank you once again, Fairfield Cultural Alliance, for your support. Thank you, thank you.
This is a bit of a unique award for us, in that it is not produced by an organization, but by a couple of fabulous individuals who care very deeply about this project. Jean Greco and Linda, oh my God, I'm going to say your name wrong. Say it again. Aguinis. Please come up and tell us about this project that you're working on.
Yes, this is an imported project. We are together. We don't know what to call ourselves other than two really, concerned people who love plays. So, and we particularly like the work of Mary Swander, who has been Iowa's Poet Laureate for 10 years. She is currently not Iowa's Poet Laureate, but she continues on in the field, and she's done some really great work. One of the plays that she wrote is called Map of My Kingdom. And that was a play that we were able to bring to Fairfield a few years ago. And somebody in this room was the sole performer in that play, and her name is Lindsay Bauer. So we are filing all of this under, you never know what could happen. What you just put your feet in the water and you say, okay, let's do this thing. And then we got the idea to do this together. We went to see the debut of this play that we are bringing to you, not till April, unfortunately, but we're going to bring it. And we're able to do that at the Civic Center, we think. We've got that all but nailed down. So we're excited about that too. And how things come full circle. So the play is about an Amish conscientious objector. In World War I, there's a story about World War I, and World War II is the one the play is directly written about. But there's some other mention. And it's, we found out very late, very close to your deadline, Fairfield Cultural Alliance, about you from getting the article published in The Source, and Claudia was able to share, you better try to get in on that grant, and we hadn't even considered it. The plans were so new. So I'll let Linda tell you the rest.
Okay, well, and it was Jean who brought Map of My Kingdom to Fairfield. And I wasn't involved then. But I have had a long relationship with Mary Swander. We did a book signing together here in Fairfield. She loves Fairfield, and she's not only a playwright, but an author and a poet as well, poet laureate, as you've heard. But anyway, so she wrote this play, and it's so poignant and so touching, because how many plays do you ever see that bring you right inside the mind and heart of a conscientious objector who is not only just, saying, I'm a conscientious objector, and then, but he actually faced terrible hardship because during World War II, he was supposed to be sent off to be a smoke jumper in the West, but he was illegally led off a train with 10 other conscientious objectors and interred in a chicken coop for the entire war, the rest of the war. And but this play also has because of the genius of Mary Swander, has also a lighter element in that it's portrayed by one actor, Rip Russell, who's from Iowa City, and it's really fantastic. But it's portrayed through props and puppets who become puppets. So it's object theater, and you could call it a tragic comedy. And so it's very much a work of art. And so, as Jean said, she wasn't sure how this was going to work with this kind of heavy, subject matter, but when she saw it, it really came together, and that's the genius of Mary Swander. So we hope you all come in April, and we hope that those of you who haven't applied for one of these grants, try it. We didn't have any idea what was going to happen. We had one day, and and it worked. We worked really hard, but for that one day. But we very much appreciate it. So thank you so much.
And I just need to add that Linda is the author of 6 books. So if you hang around after, you can ask her about all of that. Wonderful. And including one on the Amish. And working on another about the Amish, right? Okay, thank you.
Just to clarify, I will not be performing in this particular Mary Swander play, but I'm sure it's probably still good. I'd like to recognize Fairfield Art Association for their 60th anniversary art education program. And ordinarily we'd see Susan Kessel here this evening. There she is. I'd like to also recognize that this particular award was hand-selected and supported by Iowa State Bank. So thank you to Iowa State Bank for that.
Thank you. So I am the volunteer director of the nonprofit Fairfield Art Association, who will be celebrating its 60th anniversary, founded in 1966. So I've been a member and active for at least 50 years. It's who I am, it's what I do, it's what I love. So we are going to have a wonderful new sculpture produced for next year. It is a memorial to Mark Schaefer. It's going to be a large piece, about 7 or 8 foot tall by 4 foot wide, and it's going to be made out of colorful tile and represent Mark's colorful work. So, and our grant is going to be used for art instructors and art materials. We have a lot of kids classes, adult classes, just a variety, printmaking. Thank you.
It was mentioned earlier this evening, but another spotlight to Dr. Bell and the World Fairfield International Festival.
Thank you, Lindsay. 73 countries are represented at Marshy International University in their student body this year, and over 30 countries at Marshy School. But this is kind of the richness, the blessing of our community that so often goes unseen. And so a number of years ago, with Denise's help and Shanaz, we put together the World Fairfield International Festival, and Kay for sure. Yeah, Kay and I worked together at Marshy School. And so we were very well endowed at that time, the Cultural Alliance, Fairfield, the Iowa Arts Council, and on. It was a big event. It was on a town square. And
by the way, Kate Ross helped me read the grant.
yeah, thank you, Kate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's right.
It was
Yeah,
a grant from the Humanities,
yeah.
U.S. grant.
And so that was, 2 years of very successful events, and then COVID happened, and we've grown no less diverse in our community, and it was really time to rebirth that festival. And as I mentioned, we're doing it this year because of the temperature and all on campus in the MIU field house. Unfortunately, we really didn't have much participation from MIU the last time we did the festival. But this time their student council, student government, and student activities manager have been totally on board. Today we added our 31st and 32nd country, Palestine and Jordan. And so we'll be able to see a really beautiful diversity of countries represented, each with an exhibit. And then, as I said, we'll have music as well with Baraka Band, and Indian music and all kinds. And Tim, we hope certainly as well. I wanted to mention that the venue, as I said, is also special. You may not have realized, but the roof of the field house was quite porous for a while. And it did severe damage to the inside, and there was even talk about raising the building. But those of you who know Jorge and his crew know that they came in and did a heroic job of first repairing the roof and then putting up a 35-foot scaffolding and welding in the ceiling and repaired all that and the floor. So this is the first time we'll really be reopening it. In fact, we just got a new boiler put in yesterday, so it's really kind of on the upswing. But I wanted to say in terms of the arts that you may not also realize that the MIU Fieldhouse hosted concerts by 5 members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in the Parsons day, and it was also where Maharshi first spoke when he came here for his first visit. So a very historic building, and I think a good venue for what we'll be experiencing together to really celebrate the diversity of our community. And I just have to say one more word. I mean, I get to ask the kids in the school, for example, if they would like to represent their country, and it just means the world to them. We have a boy from Ukraine, we have a girl from Bangladesh, we have kids from Pakistan, and so for them to get to share their culture is really special. Come and enjoy it with them. Thank you.
Beautiful things happen when people speak together. I really love this list. I've got 4 more grants to give away. I love that there is a mixture of Fairfield staples and Fairfield institutions and Fairfield newcomers. And this is certainly an institution, Fairfield Productions, led by Dick DeAngelis.
Hi, I'm Dick. No, I'm kidding. I'm here on behalf of Fairfield Productions. I'm Ariel, and you heard a little bit about the reenactment earlier, which was really fun to be part of and witness. And so many volunteers. He says it was over 30 on scene. I really think it was over 50. So a large amount of people came out to help for that. And so the next movie is going to be about the history of artists and musicians, directly relating to Fairfield. So we're in the researching and tracking down lineage stage. And it will be the last one, so we're hoping to go out with a bang. Thank you. Thank you again.
I'd like to recognize Jenny Salmons with the Threads of Ancestry Portrait Series and Community Artist Talk.
Hi, thank you. I'm really honored and grateful to be receiving a grant to fund supplies and materials to work on a portrait series of prominent figures in the history of Fairfield and Jefferson County. Thank you.
The stories that we tell matter, and the stories that we tell ourselves matter most. The stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves can make a lasting impression for years to come. I'd like to invite Guy Harvey to come and speak about his Fairfield Documentary Photographs project.
Thank you very much for the award. I'm very honored. This last summer, I had an exhibit called Fairfield Iconic, which was mainly about place. It was about places in Fairfield. This work is called The Streets of Fairfield, and it was done over the last few years, maybe 3 years, and it's more about people. It's some candid street photography, street portraits, documentary, and some urban scapes. And the exhibit is going to take place at the Fairfield Collab, I think starting in May. And I think people are going to have a lot of fun with it. It's about us. Pretty much every photograph is taken within the Fairfield Cultural District. It's either around the square or within one block of the square. So it's very, very personal to this town. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Golden Magnolia Sanctuary to come and speak about their sound bath project.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, Golden Magnolia Sanctuary is an amazing organization just a few blocks south of the square. Everything is pay as you may. And Werner Elmker has led an amazing sound bath series. The next one will be on Monday, November 17th at 7:30, Ancient Sound Bath. Everything in the building is amazing. It's very community focused, and what Werner brings to the table is immeasurable. So we really appreciate him, and we invite you to come check it out on Monday at 7:30.
One last award to grant this evening. If you were counting, it was actually 5 and not 4 left. I'd like to invite Charles Borden to come and speak about his ebook project.
Has anybody ever seen this book? I'm sorry. There's about, yes. Okay, good. There's about, I think, 6 copies and 2 editions at the Fairfield Library. It's a complete history of Fairfield from the time immemorial, from prehistoric times through 1968 and 75. The first edition came out in 68. It's very complete and is just full of wonderful stories about the history of the land we're standing on right now. The difference between the 68 and the 75 edition was that MIU arrived here in 74. So an entire section was added about MIU, and it's quite complimentary. So, I've worked, many of you know I lived in Russia for many years, and I was an editor or writer for 8 different English language publications in Moscow. And also I've worked in projects in Ukraine as well. So what I decided to do is to turn this into an ebook so that it's accessible by students everywhere in Fairfield. There's only a few copies of this book left. There's one at the Carnegie Museum as well. So anyway, that's the plan. Turn it into an ebook so it can be accessible by students in the schools and people who are interested in the history of Fairfield.
So I'm just going to give one more pitch to grow the Fairfield Cultural Trust Fund. I've been with this organization, I guess about 20 years. 2005? Yeah, that would be it. So that's when we got our original bequest from the city. Is that the word? And it's helped us get through, up to 2020. And now it's gotten a bit diminished, and it's going to be our goal this year to bring it back to its original amount that the city gave us. So please talk to your friends. Any amount is appreciated. And you can do it on our website now. You can pay through PayPal. And you will be supporting the group that supports all of you. So that's my pitch. And now Tim is going to talk about the cultural achievements of Fairfield.
Get to adjust the mic for me. This list could be a lot bigger because there's so many people doing so many wonderful things. And not all of them get remembered by the people who happen to be making nominations. So before I read these people's, this list, which is pretty darn long, 2 sides of a piece of paper here, I just want to encourage each of you to be thinking about who you know in town, and maybe it's even yourself, who is doing something special, contributing to the cultural juiciness of our lives here in Fairfield. And for me, that's what it is, kind of like the juice of life. Culture, arts, it's reminds me of why life is a good thing to be doing. Because it doesn't always feel like that. It's like a lot of drudgery can be, what's front and center. So it's good to be reminded that it's not only that, and I think the arts and small children are the big inspirations for me that remind me that in my life at this point. I'm just going to do a quick thumbnail on each, so I'm just not reading the names and no idea why they're being named. But Tammy Hessler, we already mentioned, is behind Gold Magnolia, and what an incredibly generous gift to devote one's life to such a project. If you're not already familiar with Gold Magnolia, I suggest you get familiar, and if you are, you know why I'm saying that. It's sort of like a Herculean task, and it's incredibly valuable in all kinds of different ways to our community. Cheyenne Holiday is also associated with Gold Magnolia, but she is particularly behind the monthly community day, where she gets the support of local artists, performers, teachers, etc., for pay-as-you-may events and connecting people with their inspirations. What?
I just want to say, if your name is mentioned, would you stand up?
Oh, yes, sorry. I should have said that. So a lot of people aren't here, of course, but those who are, please do stand up. Tom Lasoda, if you're not familiar with his art house, it is shockingly amazing. It's like nothing you've ever seen and nothing you'll ever see anywhere else. And you should check it out. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I can't go on too long about any of these people. But Tom Brooks has been spearheading and supporting various sustainability projects around town. Faith Reeves is here. Go ahead and stand up. Faith is, I could say the same thing about, but it just doesn't do justice to everything she's doing. It's, and I don't have time to go on and on about it, but what a inspiration. Thank you for being here and for doing all the amazing things you're doing with lots of stuff. It's too long a list. I feel badly because I can't take too much time, but wonderful things. Thanks for it, Faith. Jimmy Moore, or James Moore, has been program director at KHOE for a number of years, and before that, KRUU. And he's doing, if you ever tune into KHOE, it's an astounding array of musical choices that are really finely curated by one of the more amazing musical geniuses in town, who's got a very deep connection with I said I wasn't going to do this, go on about people. Anyway, and the other thing is that since KMCD kind of restructured around a national corporation rather than a local experience, the local news has been essentially taken over by James over at KHOE, so that's a pretty cool thing that he's done. John Grunwald, I don't think is here, and he's done all kinds of things. He shows up in various capacities supporting this and that, but one of the things he's done is spearheaded esports at Fairfield High School, as well as installing live streaming systems at the school board and at Fairfield High School, and new security systems in the schools. Again, sort of a behind the scenes, not celebrated enough leg worker. John Grunwald. Mandy McAdams, leader of the Chamber of Commerce. She's like one of the brighter lights in town. It's kind of hard to not feel a little happier or a lot happier when you run into her in any capacity. She's a fount of enthusiasm and really has given an injection of that to the Chamber of Commerce. John Wilbur, for providing spiritual support for many international students. Alex McCunis, who's been the director over at the Fairfield Public Library and has brought a really fresh perspective to and a very proactive kind of attitude towards events and things over at the library. Barbara Rainbow for the Fairfield Community Garden, her initiatives there. Wonderful thing. Jennifer Hamilton is an incredibly hard worker. In more recent years, has been at the center of elder and hospice care and done amazing things there, not just in a logistical sense, but a very spiritual, visionary sense. And also behind the contra dance scene and the English country dance scene and shape note singing, all of which have vibrant sub-communities here in Fairfield. Marla Brader is here, somewhere around here. There she is. And First Friday Art Walk and the CoLab, she's behind both those things. What amazing projects. Another person I think is here is Karen Aoki Whittier, right here, who's just... she's done a lot over at MIU in recent years, and is one of the deeper musicians in town. She's if you ever get a chance to hear her play flute, it's really another notch up and in. It's really, really special. She's playing Sunday at the International Festival as part of the Baraka Band. Yes, that's true. Good point. And the person sitting next to her should be on this list as well. We'll just mention Amin. I'm going to nominate him right now for being another fount of enthusiasm and joy and incredible art, both musically and filmmaking-wise. I've been a part of some of those projects lately. Paulina Elizabeth is somebody who... she's been hosting, being the MC for the open mic that happens over at Paradiso every Wednesday night, and she's, again, kind of amazingly undaunted in the face of a rather relentless job over there, and just brings a lot of inspiration to that and a lot of warmth, and does a great job. Eric Schaefer, we mentioned earlier the lab, not the CoLab, but the lab, or now it's called the Creativity Lab. And he's created this amazing space by renovating this building in this gorgeous way and filling it with musical instruments and making it a welcome space for a lot of musicians to come, and dancers particularly, but all kinds of other things, yoga classes, and he's been incredibly generous both in providing the space and or creating the space and making it available to people. Brian and Jill McDonald, similar kind of situation where they took the building over there at Morningstar and renovated it and maintained it all these decades. I don't know how many years now, probably 35 years or so. And making it available for musical events, dance events, and art events, including a weekly life drawing studio thing every Saturday morning. I believe it's still going. So if you're an artist and you didn't realize that was happening, it's kind of a small little subculture that knows about that and makes use of it. Jim Edgston for conducting the municipal band and the musicians behind a lot of the musicals that happen in town. What would we do without him in those capacities? He's a great guy, brings a great attitude and a lot of expertise to it, and takes a lot of both. Fred Gratson for the Lazy Show musical that happened just recently that's been... I can't remember how many years he said he's been chipping away at working at this, but he finally put it into manifest form so we can enjoy it a couple months ago, I guess it was, in September, something like that. And what a cool thing, and a monumental amount of work and money. Dick DeAngelis for the aforementioned Fairfield History series, and for years, he was doing the All Things Italian Festival as well, which was another monumental task that he just showed up to with incredible resourcefulness and vision and enthusiasm. Meredith Simpson for the third Thursday Thirsty Word. monthly writers' reading event every third Thursday over at Paradiso. Was various venues outside at Petra Park for a while, and over at the Bakehouse Collective, whatever it's called. It's the various names. Denise can fill you in on the details of all its names. Anyway, Meredith, again, it's an incredible thing. We fill Paradiso, which is about 75 seats, every month. And if you go to one of them, you'll soon find out why you'll want to go to every other one and why everyone else is there. It's just a wonderful thing, and great, invaluable to all the writers in town who actually have a reason to get out of their own heads and their own offices and, bring it out to the ears and hearts of all these other people here in town. Bob Moore and Rick Jones for spearheading and supporting the Thursday night rock and blues bands that happen every Thursday at the Lab. Again, you see the bands and you don't necessarily understand what goes into making that happen, just out of the generosity of a couple people who decided to take it on themselves to do that. Jesse James is often behind the technicalities at the FACC, at the Convention Center, and over at MIU, and various other events, including the Symmetry Festival, which is another gargantuan thing. If you're into EDM, people come from all over the country to attend this thing, both performers and participants. It's quite a thing. It happens down towards Libertyville, and every October. Let's see, Tommy Brower here. Why don't you stand for a second, Tommy? Tommy is behind the Fairfield Youth Performing Arts, and he also is the manager over at FACC, project manager. What's your official? Operations manager. And I think he has one of the best voices in town. Say something, Tommy. Oh, shucks. Yeah, that's all you need to say. It's like, what a voice. You should be a voiceover actor. Yeah. So let's see, Lindsay Bauer, wherever you are. I don't know where she went. There she is. Lindsay is, I don't know where she gets all her energy, but it goes to really good places, particularly associated with the FACC. And I'm so glad that she's also on the board of the Fairfield Cultural Alliance. And just a great, sharp mind, as well as a really good heart, and really inspired leader of the arts initiatives in town here. Alex Stanley, who is, and Steve Cardinal, who are behind the Blue Rose Bistro and Ballroom, and also so generously created Petra Park down the street here. And this is going to be, it's not quite come to fruition yet, but it's just around the corner from that, and it's going to be really something kind of amazing. So we're going to be enjoying that in its various avenues of pursuit, all having to do with the arts and culture, and a really significant boon to the community that's probably going to be kind of at the center of things for a long time to come. Tyler Malone with the Iowa Dance Collective, which is an amazing thing, opportunity for children. And Diana Flynn, the Fairfield Area Community Theater, one of the people behind that, otherwise known as FACT. And Susan Kessel, the Fairfield Arts Association, Art Association, who's here somewhere. There she is. Again, for how many years now? 50 years? Jeez. I have to take a deep breath after thinking about that. Let's see. Werner Almker, we already mentioned, is not only doing a lot behind the scenes over at Gold Magnolia, which is a wonderful thing, but has been documenting everything in Fairfield for decades now, and doing wonderful job of that. Some guy named Tim Britton. Thank you. Fairfield Muse. I also am often running sound at various events, which is really fun. It's a great honor and pleasure to do that, and that's also true. Yeah, thank you. The Fairfield History Series, behind the sound there, and the music often, and what an amazing thing to work with Dick DeAngelis on that project. Holy Jesus, it's been really fun, really hard work, and really gratifying. Let's see, Tony Webb for the Maston Barnes, keeping that going. Judy Bales, an amazing, prolific artist, and not just kind of holing up in her little world, but bringing it out to these amazing fashion shows that are incredibly unique, and also for designing these bridges in the park system, the trail system. She's doing really cool things adorning the bridges. Let's see, Terry Baker for Visit Fairfield and Fairfield 365. And again, just bringing a lot of hard work to, in some ways, a thankless task, but really critical to the health of our community. All these people deciding that I'm going to do this thing that needs to be done, regardless of how much support I have or anything. She's doing amazing stuff like that, as are a lot of these people. Bill Teeple, I wonder who he is. And for hosting this event, for one thing, but hosting all these incredible, just a deep well of artistic literacy, in terms of curating the gallery space, as well as art, supporting artists down these stairs here, and wannabe artists, burgeoning artists, and really bringing incredibly deep expertise and vision to that. Jason Strong for FPAC, Fairfield Public Access, video documentation of all kinds of stuff, like the city council meetings, and just every day there's something that he is there plugging away with his video equipment, making sure that people have access to what's happening in town. Elaine Redding for her work with the Chamber Singers. Been going on for decades. How many years? 35 years, that's what I was thinking. Wonderful stuff, really unique, brings a unique vision to the choice of material and making it all happen and accessible to us a couple of times a year at these wonderful concerts, that one of which is coming up very soon. Bert Schnelski for Brain Belt and Fairfield First, again, bring a lot of vision and expertise to so many initiatives in town here, both business and cultural, as if those two are separate. They aren't. Steve McLean for being one of my favorite musicians, and just, it's hard to, there's a saying in Ireland back in the day when this, I shouldn't go there. I'm gonna drop that line of thinking, but he's all over the place playing music. I'll tell you later what I was gonna say and didn't. But let's see, Michael Sternfeld, who has done all kinds of things over the years, including leading the Fairfield Cultural Society back like 40 years ago, and bringing some incredible musicians to town in large concerts over at the Fairfield High School. But that was ages ago, but it's ever since then, just doing all kinds of really cool stuff. The Ramayana audiobooks, the ecstatic dance, being part of, that community and bringing that and making that, keep sustaining that as a healthy thing. Somatic workshops and leadership training, and just being a cool and groovy guy who just can't help but dance as often as possible. Yeah, of course, the David Lynch Foundation was a whole chapter as well, and with all kinds of initiatives that were amazing. So let's see, Ninka Pasi, who is not here tonight. Ninka runs the MFA program in creative writing at MIU, and this biannual Soulbone Online International Literary Festival, which has become quite vibrant. It's free. Look it up, soulbone.org, I think, or .com, I'm not sure which. I think it's .org. Soulbone, yeah, S-O-U-L, Soulbone. And it's an incredible thing. It happens twice a year, I think in like, I don't know, February or January, and again in August. February and August, yeah. And she gets amazing writers from all over the world to give these little workshops, and you can show up online and partake in miraculous things. It's an amazing thing. Rogue, Supersma, and the other people who are associated, I didn't have the names of all of them, but the Symmetry Festival. What a cool thing that is. We mentioned Jesse James earlier about that. Catherine Aid Wild, how many people have seen her storytelling events? Just a couple, just a few. She came to open mic and presented a taste, and I was absolutely floored, and I just had to find out how I could help her become the famous person that she's about to become. She's in Brazil right now. So she's astounding. But the content, she tells the stories of her father and grandfather in Lebanon, and it's absolutely riveting. The story content is amazing. Her writing is amazing. Her delivery is amazing, and her presence is amazing. And the package is just amazing. Yeah. She knows what I think about her works. It's really, I kind of feel like she should be on All Things Considered, or This American Life, or something like that. It's that good, and then some. Emmanuel Schaschinger and the other people who are associated with the organizing the twice weekly ecstatic dance events. And that is the end of my list, finally. Thank you for bearing with me. But there's so many more people that could be on this list. Please contribute next year to that list, and just celebrate them in whenever you see somebody who's doing good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. So look around you, and there's so many people who are on that list that aren't even here. I mean, that would be double and triple what we have here. But this is who we are. This is our town. This is what we support. This is what we love. And there have been people here doing it for a long, long time. And today we're going to, I want to talk about Barry Ross. Barry Ross is an artist, sculptor, and aviation and golf illustrator. Barry's artistic expression has been sculpting, with wood as his preferred medium. Hoping to release the forms and images inherent in each piece of wood, he prefers to use traditional tools and hand carving to maintain that close connection with the wood. To him, it feels like a collaborative work, and that the inspiration coming from the wood itself is given form through his hands and tools. He's shown his work locally in Iowa galleries, including Icon Gallery, Teeple Hansen Gallery, and the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center. As a nationally recognized prize-winning illustrator, his work was sought after by many of the larger corporations, including Exxon, Mobil Oil, Martin Marietta Aerospace, ABB Corporation, and the Bendix Aerospace. His specialty was interpreting technology and also sports. And for over 30 years, he was a regular contributor to Golf Magazine, Flying Magazine, Scientific American, Sports Illustrated, and many others. Barry has had one-man shows of his aviation art at the Seattle Air and Space Museum and the Wings Over the Rockies Museum in Denver. And there's a permanent exhibition of his aviation paintings at the EAA Air Venture Museum in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. He's recently honored for his illustrations in the best-selling Sleight of Hand book. Now you see it, now you don't. He produced over 1,500 drawings over a 6-month period. The book, first published in 1976, is still in print today and considered to be a basic primer for the sleight of hand beginners. So, we are pleased to announce that the Fairfield Cultural Alliance presents its 2025 Fairfield Cultural Achievement Legacy Award to Barry Ross. I want to say what it says on the award. In grateful recognition of your lifelong career of artistic achievements, which have been so appreciated by our local community, nationally and internationally, thank you for your keen eye, steady hand, and full heart.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So well expressed.
I wrote it. You want to say something?
I just want to, other than saying thank you, I mean, it just, because for me, doing what I did was a very natural thing. I mean, it was perfect. It was the way it should be. And it didn't require a lot of effort. I mean, it required effort, but it's a pleasure. Mm-hmm. And it was a pleasure with, working with all the different people that contributed. It was also a pleasure, yeah. So I have to thank you for my pleasure.
So you've heard about a lot of projects. And I just want to encourage you to please go out and support these projects in person. And as we always can use financial support to keep these programs going. Your donations to the Fairfield Cultural Alliance Trust Fund are appreciated and do make a difference. So special thanks, and special thanks to all who made this event possible. Bill Teeple and Icon Gallery. Laura Oliver for providing musical entertainment. Hy-Vee gave a wine donation. That's good. And our FCA board members for providing refreshments in their time and talents, and some chairs from Paradiso. So we invite you to please step up and be a leader in this organization and help grow the Fairfield Trust Fund through your donations and participation. By joining with us at the Fairfield Cultural Alliance, we can do this and more again next year. Thank you for coming.